Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Break the Record Live. We are here right now, coming towards the end of day 2 here. We got about an hour and a half before we hit that no reset point where the runners will have to finish their final run, and then that'll be it for the end of day 2. For those of you not aware of what this event is, Break the Record Live is a 3-day speedrunning event where we have the top 7 runners of the game. In this case, it is Dark Souls Remastered, specifically the all bosses category, and they're all trying to compete to set the best time they possibly can and break the record live. We are currently 4 for 4 on record breaks right now. 4 events have taken place and 4 events have broken the world record. Catalyst right now with a brand new world record of a 1:02:30 set not even an hour ago right now. Very, very good run coming out there. Did have a little interview, says he's going to be coming back tomorrow to try and do even better. Of course, not just playing for pride, these runners are also playing for a piece of a $5,000 prize pool sponsored by Kaspersky. They have provided the prize pool for the event here, so thank you very much to them, and a big thank you to Twitch as well for sponsoring on and helping put the event on. We just witnessed Iron Boy finishing a run. We're waiting to see if Iron Boy is going to be coming back in. And with me on commentary, we do have a Speedsouls member, Ben. How you doing, mate?
I am doing fantastic. Just got done watching Iron Boy bust out a huge 107, over a minute faster, and he is ready to go again, right in the asylum. So right back into it.
But speaking of into the asylum, we got all 3 runners into the asylum right now. So
yeah.
shall we have a look at Gentov at the moment? We'll see what Gentov is going to do. We've got this early game. We got this early game right now. We got all 3 runners. We want to see them try to escape this section. Like, they still have an hour and a half. They still got plenty of time to try and go through, assuming that they're going to stay awake from it. We have seen Gentov and Iron Boy. Like, Iron Boy's been an absolute champ right now. Running through pretty much consistently each day. I've done about 6, 7, even 8 hours. But we know it's quite late in Argentina as well for Gentov. So we'll see if Gentov is going to keep going for a little while longer. We do have confirmation, just like yesterday, Nax is going all night. So we will be seeing Nax all the time.
I am not surprised. It's good to hear that Nax is in it for the long run.
No, definitely. Like, Nax has to come in later due to being in Canada, so just using full advantage of the time he has left. As we see Gentov falling down. Let's hope the dogs are nice. Don't come for us, please.
Yeah, that was decent. Yeah, thankfully the dog hit him from the front, so he was able to hold block there, which is... There's several reasons to hold block when you're running around. It's not just to actually block incoming dog attacks, even though it may look like it, and it does help. But there are a couple of reasons. One of the big ones is something that a lot of people don't know. So when you're running through, Dark Souls 1 has the same button for jump and roll at the same time, which is the B button on an Xbox controller. Not too sure about keyboard, because I don't play with keyboard, because this game is definitely designed for a controller. But circle on PlayStation, you know, that kind of button on the right hand side. And so it's very easy that if you're trying to sprint or jog, you can accidentally do one or the other when you intend to do, you know, vice versa. So if you're sprinting and you press B or circle, you will jump, and sometimes you intend to roll and you'll jump by mistake and it'll get you killed, or vice versa. But if you are blocking, even if you're sprinting and you tap B or circle, you will roll guaranteed. So that is a very easy way to guarantee that you don't make a simple mistake and kill your run, just simply by holding block. So it's a really small thing that a lot of people won't pick up on, but it makes a lot of dodging far more consistent.
No, that's definitely a nice thing to notice there. Too many games during Dark Souls era like to put many actions on one button. Exactly, and then there's a button on the controller that goes unused, and you're sitting staring at it going, why? Like, you could have used that button. Nah. But it's nice to know that there is a way to make things like that consistent. Like, there would be nothing worse than losing a run when you were meant to jump over. Like, imagine trying to jump over Valley of Drakes and you accidentally roll. It's
exactly.
Like, It's like, there we go. I've just fell down and we're now dead.
Yeah, it's a really silly way to kill your run. Interestingly enough, starting with Dark Souls 2, they actually made it so you click in the left thumbstick in order to jump, which it's arguable whether it's better or worse. As we see Gentov get absolutely smashed by the Hellkite Drake there. Thankfully didn't die, because he didn't get hit by the full amount, but still very scary. Gotta keep my eyes on the prize there as I'm trying to explain all this. And also, he's neck and neck with Nax, I can see on top right as well.
Yeah, we got them.
Neck and neck right now.
We got them both at the exact same point here. Both of them making it through Hellkite Drake, running up towards the Gargoyles. We're going to see both of these runners try and get a good Gargoyles fight. I believe both of them here are going to be opting for the Firebomb strat. But before that, we have good old Knight going to block your passageway, and then the Hollows room.
The good old Boulder Knight into Hollows room. It is truly horrific. It is stuff up nightmare.
Here comes Boulder Knight, and immediate parry gets through.
And then it's just that's ideal when you can just run past him like that. Much better.
Oh my
Not a great hollow room. Had to jump.
Man,
and as you can see there, if Gentov was blocking, he would have rolled. So there you go. That's a prime example of what I was explaining. But yeah, so Dark Souls 2 and onwards makes it so you can click in the left thumbstick. But then a big issue with that in Dark Souls 2 is that it's how far you jump is also based on, I believe, your CPU usage or something really silly like that. So if you have too many programs open, you can get what is called a baby jump, where you will just try and jump a gap and you just won't jump nearly as far and you'll die. So yeah, it gets even sillier as the more they try and fix it, the worse it gets.
That is impressive. Having too many things running causes Dark Souls to do baby jumps. Wow. And Nax unfortunately dying to Gargoyles. That's going to be a reset.
Dropping. Yep. That is another example of it is all the way back to Firelink. If you die, even though there are 2 bonfires on the way that you can take, as I mentioned before, if he were to take either of them, then he wouldn't be able to walk back to Firelink later on, and he would have to run all the way back. So you don't take any bonfires on the way to Gargoyles, and if you die, it's over. Like, you can take the elevator back as well that you send down, but that is used for later, and also the elevator is stupidly long. Like, it's a shortcut, but it is still, like, a minute plus run back. So yeah, it's over if you die to Gargs.
Indeed. It was a shame there because we had a very good sync going on between Gentov and Nash. Like, we saw them both running past Boulder Knight, running past Hollow's room, literally entering the fog gate on pretty much the same frame. Like, they were neck and neck. But it just goes to show that even experienced runners of the game can still sometimes get unlucky, even on the first couple of fights here.
Yep, it happens. And I was about to mention as well how Gentov didn't have a clean fight himself. But obviously, an unclean fight is better than a death.
So running away to go and grab red Tearstone ring now. Probably like the most pivotal piece for the run here. Like, just the amount of times it's used and the amount of damage that it actually gives you. Especially for the the Crapple Mage route here. It's pretty bad. If you don't get that, like, this route just doesn't exist at this point. Like, because you wouldn't have enough spell casts to finish the rest of the run, basically. You'd go into these fights and you would run out of spell casts. And I don't think they're going to appreciate you coming at them with the catalyst and try to donk them on the head a few times.
It does not do a lot of damage, especially when you haven't invested in melee stats, because you're going for intelligence, you're going for dexterity, which is pure spell damage. A very common question is, because of how far the red Tearstone ring is out of the way and the fact that you teleport back without really getting too much done after you do it, is it really worth it? But the answer is, as soon as you start seeing how quickly the bosses die, the answer is yes, 1000%. Especially in this route. So there is a thing that can happen. It happens in Prepare to Die edition, where you don't actually walk back after getting the red Tearstone ring, and instead you roll off all the way down to where the drakes are all sat waiting for you. And there's a thing that can happen there called a stored roll, and essentially what that is it's an input, so you try and roll immediately as soon as you hit the ground, but because the input is already stored, you can't roll immediately. So if that happens, you instantly get killed by all the drakes that are sat waiting for you. So thankfully, getting the red tier stone ring in this run where you don't have to risk that potential stored roll is a lot more consistent. Because as soon as you get it and you can just walk back immediately, don't have to worry about the drakes. But yeah, so you can imagine in Prepare to Die edition where you do reset to the red tier stone ring section a lot, people say, you know, is it really worth risking it? But the answer is always yes, by a mile. It is 100% worth it.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I'm just imagining that moment there in Prepare to Die. It's like you jump down and it's like, you're probably wondering how I got here. And you're like, oh, well, here we go. Yeah. Or that, you know, or that, like that to be continued meme. It's like, yeah, there we go.
Exactly, yeah.
We know what's coming. It's time to go back to the asylum.
Yeah, Roundabout starts playing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
But here we go. We see the first death cam of the run here, running all the way through the area now to Sen's Fortress. Currently racing the little hollow who we got the death cam from. Need to make sure we get down to the bonfire here before... Looks like Gentov's got it there. Yeah, there we go. Gets the bonfire. And this just leaves Sen Fortress currently unloaded, which means the giant gate that is meant to be preventing you from getting in just doesn't exist, and you're casually just gonna walk inside.
Yep, nice and easy. So, Argik, have you watched this enough, and have you kind of got the idea yet to know the technicalities behind the death cam and why exactly this skip works and how it works?
Well, let's give it a go. From what I've seen here,
yeah,
when
I can always step in to correct.
Yeah, you can correct me if I'm wrong here. But based on what I've learned from this run here, you have two different boxes that you've got. You've got the death camera box, and you've got the actual kill box. If you hit the kill box, you die. You don't want to hit the kill box. And what you're doing there, apart from getting hit by
don't want to hit the kill box. Also, don't want to hit the pendulums in Sen's Fortress. They are not good for you.
Oh dear.
Anywho.
Definitely. But yeah, so what you're trying to do there is you are luring the hollow down to the stairs there, but you want to be at a particular height on the stairs, and then you want to do the attack on him where you're hitting the death cam box, but you're missing the kill box. So then you get the angle that you would get if you were actually dying, which is the top-down view from your character. At that point, you're then trying to control your character and move towards the bonfire and then into Sen's Fortress. Because of the death cam camera angle, one of the features of death cam is that it is not loading any more assets, because as far as the game is concerned, you are dead. So you'll see the runners run towards the bonfire and then run towards the entrance of Sen's Fortress. Once they're in Sen's Fortress, you can then do a save and quit, put your camera back to normal, and you've skipped both bell towers and opening the door.
Yep, that is absolutely spot on. I couldn't have said it better on myself. Good job.
Woohoo! I learned in Dark Souls. See, I'm really tempted, like, after this, like, maybe some point during this month, I might try a Dark Souls run. Yep. Like, see the Steam sale when it comes up, I'll buy Remastered, because I only have, like, the original Prepare to Die. Yeah. So it's like, if I was going to do this, I'll need to buy Remastered, but you never know. Yeah. We could do it.
I mean, you know, Remastered and Prepare to Die aren't that different. So you could, you know, all of my experiences running Prepare to Die. And yeah, I mean, both versions are really fun to play. I'm always going to be a Prepare to Die, you know, elitist. Because that's where my roots are. You know, it was the first Dark Souls game I ever played. On the PC, but yeah, they're both really fun, and I'd recommend anyone who sees this and is like, you know, could I give this a go? This game is really hard, but honestly, the speedrun, like getting into it, isn't that difficult. Compared to how difficult the game is casually, the speedrun is quite easy.
I mean, I've definitely learned a lot from the community here doing it. Like, we got Firepaw's caster guide, which is absolutely in-depth, has amazing images in that of how they want to line up. We've had all you commentators come in and just doing this absolutely wonderful job of explaining to us, like, we're hosting the event here, but we're learning just as much as like everybody watching from home as well. Like we are completely new to this, like Bowie and myself here. Obviously Ash knows the run here, going to be probably begging me to run the original rather than remastered. We'll see what happens.
I'll be doing the same.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. But it's like Bowie and myself, like we're new to this. It's like we have never run Dark Souls. It's like, but at the end of this, I reckon both of us could give it a dang good shot, to be honest.
Maybe you'll be, you know, in contention to break the record next year.
I wouldn't go that far. Like, there's a very important skill other than understanding is execution, and you only get execution if you practice and you put the time in. So let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Everyone starts somewhere.
But yeah, coming through now, we are back into the wonderful sunny area of Anne Orlando. So we know what's coming up soon. We got the Painting Guardians and, of course, Ornstein and Schmau as well.
Yeah, the Minecraft segment, apparently. That's still trying to figure out what that means, but it's the Minecraft segment.
I still don't know why it's called Minecraft.
Me neither. I'm getting more curious as each minute goes by. I'm trying to figure out what it could possibly mean.
We'll have to figure it out.
And Iron Boy, also speaking of, is on his way to Iron Golem, so he is only, you know, a minute behind Gensov now. Yeah, a minute, 2 minutes. He is he is on good pace as well. So I know Regal, I use him for a lot of time frames because his estimates are a lot better than mine. And he mentioned that most people going for the world record will be getting a sub 14 quit out. That's the kind of cutoff point. So where you'll be going for, like, you know, the 102s, the 103s. So you look at Gentov, and he's currently competing against a 112. But he's got a 1427. So he is not that far behind in terms of the early game. So this is really good pace considering. Like, you know, if you think about 30 seconds lost to the record in early game, really isn't that big of a deal. You can easily pull that back. You know, he's got an hour left to bring this back. And he can easily smash his PB.
Oh, definitely. And that's what we want to see. Like, we're looking for these runners to smash these PBs here.
Yep.
And I just opened up Steam. Last played 10th of April, 2016. With
2016.
With 32.3 hours, I actually own the Prepare to Die edition on PC.
So, did you beat the game in 30 hours your first try?
No, I played it originally on PlayStation when it first came out.
Oh, okay. I was going to say 30 hours for a first playthrough is very impressive.
No, I was originally on PlayStation. Oh yeah, my first time took me way too long as well. Like, I was exploring every single little thing. Like, something that's not really brought up in the speedrun because we don't really do much with it are like the different NPC quests that they make you do. I think the only one that we really worry about is Logan, and it's not actually doing the quest for him. It's freeing him from Sense Fortress and then ensuring that you can move him from Firelink to make sure you buy the spells that you need.
Exactly. Yeah. There is a minor amount of quest line, like when you're going towards the DLC and getting Dusk as well, but it's very minor. Like there is an entire segment there where you get Sif into the DLC, and you can free them, and that's an entire quest line. But you obviously don't touch that in the actual.
I'm glad you don't touch that because that's heartbreaking when you play it for the first time.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it changes the dynamic of the Sif fight completely, and that's why he's a good boy.
Exactly.
But yeah,
not in the run, but in the lore. Sif is a protector. Yeah. To those who don't know, he is protecting Artorias' grave. And Artorias is a hero in the Dark Souls universe because he, I believe he basically went to go and stop the Rise of the Abyss taking over Elysial, and he unfortunately was consumed in battle. But that's how all heroes die.
Doing what they said to do. And speaking of heroes, will Gentov be the hero right now? Big 3-minute time save at the moment into Orstein and Schmal. Here we go. Same opening we got last time. We got shoveled, remember?
And he trades.
No! Look at the shoulders. The shoulders are... He's not happy. He is not happy. You can see the visible frustration there. Hands are up. Shoulders are up. visibly shaking at the screen there. He's just like, what is going on? What do I have to do to get a run going?
Yep.
That's unfortunate. Again, like
And
you were saying there, he was in 14 pace coming through. And like, you just see that massive time save that he has available.
Yep. And it's another point as well, as he doesn't rest at any bonfires in Anawando. He spawns at the Andre bonfire. So, you know, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the gate to Sen's Fortress is still closed. So if he wants to continue that run, he has to redo the gate skip and then go all the way through back to the top to Sen's Fortress and then go all the way to Anawando. So yeah, it's over at that point. Like, there are so many different corpse runs, as we call them, which is like, you know, running back to your corpse to collect the souls and whatnot, that are, you know, 4 or 5 minutes of running. So yeah, that is an instant reset, unfortunately.
Yeah, at that point, if you're going to be doing the run back, you might as well do the run back in the new run.
Exactly.
And just take it. Take your lumps and go for it. We'll see if Iron Boy is going to get a similar fate or not here.
He's
Iron Boy
coming right
in.
up to ONS.
Right up again.
Yeah.
Setting up Tier Stone. I really don't like that version of it. I'm just going to take an arrow.
The size of the
face.
arrows are enough to take your head clean off. Those things are huge.
I mean, I'm glad we get to see them, because like not seeing them outside, you know, where they do the most damage, not kill you, just knock you off the edge. Like, bye.
Yep.
But here we go. Let's see. Will we get a good opening?
What a good opening so far. And yep, another good opening.
Dashing straight through and a
Dodge, though.
And a stat. Oh, nope. Yeah. Iron Boy just like, nah. That's that. Big smile. I like Iron Boy. Every time he takes a death like this and has to reset, he has a smile on his face.
Yeah. And that's you know, the best mindset you can have. Like, he's just straight into the next run, you know. Well, that happens. You know, he made the right choice, which is to have a look at Smo. A lot of runners, as soon as they start dealing with Ornstein, they tunnel vision onto him, and then Smo will just hit you in the back. And, you know, even though that is technically random, depending if he comes at you fast or not, it is preventable, because you can look at him to see what he's doing. But then obviously, if Ornstein then hits you in the back, then there's not a lot you can do if they both decide.
Yeah, no, at that point,
Iron Boy definitely made the best choice there, to take a look at Smo to try and prevent getting hit from behind, but then it happened anyways.
Yeah, like there was nothing he could have done at that point. He was looking for the shovel, no shovel was coming, and then just got poked in the side. And it's like, it was unfortunate, because that first dash, it looked really good, but then he dodged the first arrow. And you were just like, right, okay, here we go. But unfortunately as well, Nax also taking a death there. So we have all 3 runners back at the start of the game, back in the asylum. So at this point, we are going to go and take ourselves a little break. We are going to be getting 2 more community casters joining us. So we're going to have a little bit more banter coming in here. We've got Kermit, and we are going to have Regal coming in. So Ben's going to be very happy about that.
Very happy.
But yeah, we are going to go and take ourselves a little break here. Again, a big thank you to our sponsors here, Kaspersky and Twitch. Now, everybody watching, go and get yourself a drink, get yourself a snack, stretch those legs a little bit. We'll be back in 3 minutes after these quick adverts.